Join us on a journey into the shadows as we uncover the secrets of the CIA's covert operations in the USSR during the Cold War. From bizarre experiments with cats to risky tapping of Soviet communication cables, we'll explore the triumphs and failures of some of the most intriguing missions undertaken by the CIA. Along the way, we'll encounter danger, espionage, and the unexpected twists and turns that make these operations so fascinating. Don't miss this inside look into the world of clandestine operations, and the role they played in one of the most tense periods of modern history. The Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, has long been known for its covert operations around the world. However, few operations can match the intrigue and danger of those conducted in the Soviet Union during the Cold War. From secret espionage missions to daring assassination attempts, the CIA went to great lengths to gain intelligence and undermine the Soviet government. In this article, we will delve into the three most interesting CIA operations in the USSR, exploring their difficulties, dangers, deaths, victories, and defeats. 1. Operation Acoustic Kitty. One of the most bizarre and ill-fated CIA operations in the USSR was the infamous Operation Acoustic Kitty. In the 1960s, the CIA developed a plan to surgically implant a listening device into a cat, which would then be released near the Soviet embassy in Washington, D.C. The idea was that the cat would wander into the embassy and eavesdrop on conversations. The operation was a massive undertaking, involving multiple teams of scientists, veterinarians, and intelligence operatives. The cat chosen for the mission was trained for months, and the listening device was carefully implanted into its ear. However, the mission quickly went awry. On its first field test, the cat was hit by a taxi just moments after being released. The $15 million operation was a complete failure, and the cat did not survive. 2. Operation Ivy Bells. While the Acoustic Kitty operation was a failure, the CIA had other successes in the USSR. One of the most significant was Operation Ivy Bells, a joint operation with the National Security Agency, NSA, to tap into Soviet underwater communication cables. The operation began in the 1970s and involved a team of Navy divers who would secretly enter Soviet waters and attach tapping devices to the cables. The operation was incredibly risky, with the divers working in complete darkness and frigid temperatures while avoiding detection by the Soviet Navy. Despite the dangers, the operation was a success, providing the U.S. with valuable intelligence on Soviet military operations. However, the mission was not without its setbacks. In 1985, a Soviet naval officer discovered one of the tapping devices, sparking an international incident. Fortunately, the U.S. was able to de-escalate the situation, and the operation continued until the collapse of the Soviet Union. 3. Operation Mongoose. Perhaps the most audacious CIA operation in the USSR was Operation Mongoose, a covert operation designed to overthrow the Soviet government. The operation was part of a broader effort by the U.S. government to counter Soviet influence in Cuba, but it quickly expanded to include the USSR itself. The operation involved a variety of tactics, including propaganda campaigns, sabotage operations, and assassination attempts against Soviet leaders. One of the most notable assassination attempts occurred in 1961 when the CIA attempted to poison Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev's food during a visit to New York City. However, the operation was not successful, and the CIA's efforts to undermine the Soviet government largely failed. The operation was also incredibly risky, with Soviet counterintelligence working tirelessly to uncover and thwart CIA operations. The failure of Operation Mongoose is perhaps a cautionary tale for those who believe that covert operations can bring about regime change. The CIA's operations in the USSR during the Cold War were both intriguing and dangerous. From the bizarre failure of Operation Acoustic Kitty to the risky success of Operation Ivy Bells and the audacious failure of Operation Mongoose, the CIA's efforts to undermine the Soviet government were a mixed bag of triumphs and setbacks. While these operations are a reminder of the lengths to which governments will go to gain intelligence and influence events, they also demonstrate the dangers of such operations and the potential for unintended consequences.